Hey guys, great to see you. Type in Hey Teacher Raf in YouTube, come to my channel, go to the About section, scroll down, see the 4 links, bottom right link, support small business. Once you hit that, donate anything above 10 bucks and I'll send you my newest Ultimate Adventure Guide because I want you to feel excited, exhilarated.
Hey guys, it's Teacher Raf. Welcome back to my channel. This is Twilight Zone episode 134. Today I want to define the word objectivity, yellow journalism, show you a few headlines of the Arizona audit by so-called journalistic enterprises today, and also touch on The Deep Rig. It's a book, but it's also a film coming out. Let's start with objectivity. Let's read the definition. The fact of being based on facts. Okay, so based on facts and not influenced by personal beliefs or feelings. All right, let's see what Merriam-Webster says. The definition of objectivity: the quality or character of being objective, lack of favoritism toward one side or another, freedom from bias. Here's an example. Many people question the selection committee's objectivity. Wow, what a great little example there, right? So we know that objectivity is supposed to lack favoritism toward one side or another, and it's supposed to be based on facts and not personal beliefs. Okay, let's look at the definition of yellow journalism. Journalism that exploits, distorts, or exaggerates the news to create sensations and attract readers. Journalism which is sensationalistic and of questionable accuracy and taste. Okay, and Britannica defines yellow journalism as the use of lurid features and sensationalized news in newspaper publishing to attract readers and increase circulation. The phrase was coined in the 1890s to describe the tactics employed in the furious competition between 2 New York City newspapers, The World and The Journal. So let's just look at that word right there, competition. Yellow journalism is based on competition because it uses these tactics, these dramatic tactics, to outcompete its competitor. But you should ask yourself the question, do you want your news to be yellow journalistically tainted, or do you want it to be objective without competition? Because that's what's going on today. Look at these headlines, just as an example. Arizona audit becomes far right campaign stop. That's a little extreme. Arizona election audit takes wild turn. Really? We're going to look at that. Okay, OAN host snapped at local reporter. Maybe that's fact, but it does sound quite dramatic. Oh, look at this. What is this word? Renegade Arizona audit declares Trump won. Renegade? If you want to be objective, you can't use the word renegade unless it's actually backed up by some type of evidence or proof of what you're trying to imply, instead of making a salacious remark like that. I mean, this isn't objective journalism. Look at this. Arizona GOP's election audit going far worse. Okay, far worse? Why is that being written? It's a tainted headline. Okay, now look at this one. It's very tricky. Arizona audit voting system data was sent to lab. Voting system data? Now, be careful because this is incorrect, and I'll tell you why. Voting system data implies original data, which, if you look at this article in Salon, Arizona election audit takes wild turn, okay? Sensationalistic wild turn, voter data, okay? This implies original voter data is transported to a secret lab in another state. Now, this is false. This entire headline is false. I'm going to tell you why. Let me look right here. First, Ken Bennett, okay, an audit official, informed the Arizona Republic that he wasn't aware of how the data in the hands of Cotton and his firms was being kept safe. Okay. Weeks later, Bennett told CNN that Cipher was allowed to, what are these words? These 2 words right here. Send copies to voter data to Montana on a truck. Send copies. So first of all, we're not talking about original voter data, because that's what it implies, this headline right here, voter data. It has to have the word copies in front of it, or copy of, correct? Otherwise, we're implying something that's not true. Secondly, Bennett told CNN this, okay? Well, that's fine that he told CNN that, That's fine, but is there a contract that actually states that? Because if you dig into these articles that are writing about this subject matter, you'll soon find out that emails were sent of the copies of voter data. Emails. Now, was there actual evidence of a truck going to Montana? Not that I have seen or heard any evidence or facts. Because these people, listen, look at this. Bennett tells us he doesn't know where the so-called lab is. Okay, so he doesn't know. So where did he get this information? You see what I mean? He doesn't know, but he's telling CNN reporter Gary Tuchman said during the televised report, it is apparently a secret. Apparently. So he's using the word apparently because it's so-called lab. Okay, because the fact is that a CNN reporter went to Montana and saw a cabin within eye shot of a Montana property, but it couldn't go further because of private property sign. Okay, that's fine. So the reporter did not find a lab. It remains unclear whether the lab is actually located on the property or if it even exists. So therefore, this headline is false because a lab was not found, a truck was not found. The information is hearsay, correct? It's hearsay. It's not backed by fact. Bennett doesn't know where the lab is, okay? And so what we do know for certain is that copies were sent via email. That's what we do know if you really look into this story. But other than that, we don't really know what's going on with this whole story about trucking copies of voter documents. Okay, so all of these headlines about this whole voter election audit happenings in Arizona, these are very yellow journalism is tainted, what I'm trying to say. They're not objective. Now, if we look at what this Deep Rig book is, How Election Fraud Caused Donald Trump. Okay, Byron, supposedly, I think he was the Overstock CEO in the past, is a libertarian who did not vote for Trump and has publicly criticized him. That said, he believes election 2020 was rigged and that should be objectionable to every person who believes just government derives its power from the consent of the governor. Okay. And then here he is, Patrick M. Byrne. Okay. And then he talks about it. Him here, served chairman, president, CEO, Centrica LLC. Former CEO of Overstock, great, okay. He created worldstock.com 2001. Okay, that's fine. The point is what I've read is that this film, The Deep Rig, and its proceeds will all go to a nonprofit charity run by Mr. Byrne. And Mr. Byrne, kind of like The Simpsons, Mr. Byrne? I hope not, right? And then he will turn around and move the profits from the nonprofit organization toward the audit that is happening in Arizona, because the government will not finance the audit, which is something you should be asking yourself why. Well, you should ask yourself why third parties conduct elections in the first place and why there isn't some type of objective board looking into this. Well, because everything is corrupted with money, obviously, right? But still, you should be asking these questions. And why isn't an audit being paid for by the government? Because probably this could be a scheme. So therefore, the people or persons who are interested in an audit have to come up with a ways to raise that money and then give it to a charity or whatever, generously donate that money for the audit to happen. It's just very interesting that we live in a society where there is objective journalism. And I guess that has to deal with the Amendment, freedom of speech and freedom of journalism. Because the freedom of speech and the freedom of journalism, those two freedoms negate one another in a way. Because it means that you can write yellow journalism legally. But I don't understand how you can pass it off as journalism. It should be passed off as entertainment rather than journalism. Journalism is supposedly supposed to be objective, but yellow journalism is never objective. It's always subjective because it has to do with feelings and bias. Therefore, everything being reported in the media is always yellow journalism, and it's legally done. So it's a very strange phenomenon, and Because of that, no one really knows what's going on, and all it's doing is leading to more chaos, tension, and dramatic upheaval, or it's trying to create that in a way in order to sell airtime and advertising time, I guess. Very strange. Anyhow, hit like, hit subscribe, share the link, leave a comment. Thanks for listening. Take care. Be safe.